My friends and I had been planning our vacation to the secluded Blackwater Lodge for months. Nestled deep in the mountains, the lodge was known for its breathtaking views and peaceful surroundings. We were all looking forward to a week of relaxation, hiking, and bonding. As we arrived at the lodge, we were immediately struck by its eerie atmosphere. The air was unusually cold, and the wind whispered through the trees, sending shivers down my spine. Despite our unease, we brushed it off as mere nerves and excitement for our vacation. The first night at the lodge started off well enough. We enjoyed a delicious dinner in the cozy dining room and settled in by the fire for a few drinks. But as the night wore on, strange things began to happen. I was woken in the middle of the night by a loud knocking at my door. I groggily stumbled out of bed and opened it, only to find the hallway empty. I shrugged it off as just my imagination playing tricks on me and went back to bed. The next day, as we set out on a hike through the woods, we couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. The trees seemed to whisper secrets to each other, and shadows flitted just out of the corner of our eyes. We tried to convince ourselves that it was just the forest playing tricks on us, but deep down, we knew something was off. That night, as we gathered around the fire for dinner, a chill settled over the room. The flames flickered unnaturally, casting eerie shadows on the walls. And then we heard it, a soft, melodic humming coming from somewhere deep in the forest. We all froze, our hearts pounding in our chests. None of us dared to speak, afraid that whatever was out there would hear us. But as the humming grew louder, a sense of dread washed over us. We knew that something was coming, something dark and malevolent. As the humming reached a crescendo, the lights flickered and went out, plunging us into darkness. Panic set in as we fumbled for our flashlights, trying to make sense of the chaos around us. And then, a blood-curdling scream pierced the night, echoing through the lodge. We all scrambled to our feet, desperate to find the source of the scream. But as we made our way through the darkened hallways, a sense of unease settled over us. The lodge seemed to twist and turn, leading us in circles and dead ends. It was as if the very building itself was alive, toying with us like puppets on a string. And that's when we saw her, a ghostly figure standing at the end of the hallway, her eyes empty and void of emotion. We watched in horror as she floated towards us, her ethereal form glowing in the darkness. And then, with a chilling wail, she reached out a cold, skeletal hand towards us. We ran, our screams echoing through the lodge as we tried to escape the ghostly figure. But no matter how fast we ran, she was always one step ahead of us, her haunting presence never far behind. And as we finally burst out into the night, gasping for breath, we knew that we were not alone. The spirits of Blackwater Lodge had claimed us as their own, trapping us in a nightmare from which there was no escape. And as we huddled together in the darkness, surrounded by the malevolent forces of the forest, we knew that our vacation had turned into a living nightmare. From that day on, the legend of Blackwater Lodge grew, whispered by those brave enough to venture into the haunted woods. The spirits of the lodge were said to still roam the forest, seeking out new victims to join them in their eternal torment. And as for us, we never spoke of that fateful vacation again, haunted by the memories of that terrifying night at Blackwater Lodge.